Yo, it's Nigel Gaming Metaphor Fantazio unboxing the collector's edition for the PlayStation 5. Atlus has finally released their new intellectual property meant to be separate from their other two IPs, which include Shin Megami Tensei and the Persona series. Unlike the previous two titles, Metaphor follows the protagonist trying to make their way through a more adult-oriented fantasy world.
It's a story about a world very different from ours.
'Tis a world where all people are equal and no conflict exists, much like the world His Highness once dreamt of.
To put it another way, this is a fantasy.
Atlus likes to showcase the importance of books in their games, and following suit of Persona and Shin Megami, books have a great importance in the world of Uchronia. With this in mind, the Metaphor Fantazio development team put a lot of effort into designing a very well put together collector's edition box. However, it would seem that the ESRB rated boxes were shipped overseas damaged. As you can see, there's some minor scuffs on the exterior slipcase. However, and unfortunately, the interior box was shipped irreparably damaged. So, as a warning to anyone watching this, what you may see moving forward is a little bit unpleasant, but it is the reality of most of these collector's editions that are ESRB rated. Let's start on a more positive note, shall we? The actual contents of the collector's edition box were shipped perfectly fine. The digital download code consists of mostly cosmetic, battle gear, and costumes, alongside Atlus's 35th anniversary, history book, and soundtrack. Although I do wish that those were physical inclusions, this is the reality of it all. The sticker sheet includes, but is not limited to, imagery of the main protagonist Will, alongside his party members Gallica, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Heisme, Juna, Yufa, and Basilio. Other stickers include your airship, the Charadrius, hope I pronounced that right, and the main antagonist, Luis Guillamburn, who I would have to admit is quite freaky and scary. Now on to the part of the collection that excites me the most, the art book. So the art in Metaphor Fantazio is inspired by 16th century Dutch artist Hieronymus Bosch. Bosch is a surrealist painter known for creating surrealistic imagery in landscapes derived from religious text. You can tell from looking at the game, and especially the art is fantastic. You can tell how much they derived from his paintings. They're very trippy, very surreal, and Metaphor does a great job of interpreting that. The icing on the cake is the dynamic character design art by none other than Shigenori Sojima. Also known for his art style on the Persona series, I'm just blown away by the fact that he can still present his distinct style, but also create a variation that makes the Metaphor game distinct from the Persona game. All the characters are dynamic and unique. They all have their own style that fits into the world of Uchronia, and yeah, this is fantastic. I love seeing these finished sketches just to see the process and how he develops these characters, and then see, the basic line drawings to the finished product. I'm absolutely blown away. I love this art book. I love that they're dynamically showing his presentation and, just giving us a glimpse into how this all came together. This may come as a surprise to some of you, but the game is actually included in the collector's edition. Can you imagine? I know it's a rare sight to see these days, but Atlas, bravo to you for actually including the game itself inside of the collector's edition. Here's our first look of the damage of a lot of these collector's editions. So the way these are sent, the pallets are stacked on top of each other. I put a picture here to show you. The issue is that you have to calculate for anything sensitive inside the box so that there's nothing that gets crushed that's fragile on the inside. So a lot of these collector's editions may show up like this. Unless yours is on top of the stack, you may have gotten lucky and not have any problems with yours. So I guess in a way you've got yourself a collector's edition. Alright, so that was the Steelbook. I'll show that again later. Here's the cloth map of Uchronia, and admittedly, shockingly maybe to me, what is the most important thing is the soundtrack. Now, I don't have a CD player. I never have, at least not in a few decades. I don't know what I'll do with this, but I love the soundtrack. Maybe one day I can make it digital, but that is literally a problem for a future Nigel to deal with. Until then, I will be enjoying Shoji Meguro's composition on the internet digitally. Here's the metallic pin set, the quote-unquote Homo Tenta, which, fun fact, are apparently humans. So yeah, the demons in the dungeons are called humans. I guess that's some kind of metaphor. Not particularly subtle. About as subtle as the damage to this collector's edition box. So yeah, for the most part, it doesn't look too terrible. It's actually well designed. The colors are nice, but it's sad that the interior was damaged the way that it was. But never mind that. Let's focus on the positive.
The tournament for the throne!
Small wonder when any among the populace might be king.
Feast your eyes upon the United Kingdom of Uchronia. This is the world map that you and your party will be traversing as you quest to fulfill your destiny, become the next ruler.
The fortress at the border was raised by a human mere days ago. You can only blame your king's weakness. Who deserves his crown? A man of proven strength!
The people of my land desire a new king.
As I mentioned previously, Metaphor takes place in a uniquely fantasy-based realm where the king has died under mysterious circumstances. However, previous to his passing, the king cast a spell that forced the kingdom to elect his successor. This moon appeared in the sky and essentially threatened to destroy the whole kingdom unless a successor was chosen. As the main protagonist's will, it is your responsibility to find a cure for the king's son who happens to be your friend.
Their speeches of tribal harmony mean nothing when every day they cheat and abuse us!
The true big bad villain of the story, Luis Guillaburn, single-handedly destroyed the king and, it seems, has cursed his son, the good friend to the protagonist Will, with a deadly, life-threatening curse that's slowly eating away at him, and it's your job, essentially, to find a cure and allow a successor to be crowned. As of this recording, I've barely scratched the surface of the narrative for Metaphor re Fantazio, but I have to admit that I am completely blown away. I have to give it up to Atlas for introducing another IP that is just phenomenal. The art is great, the design is great, the music is just chef's kiss. You know, the metaphors are, not super subtle at all, but, I appreciate a good storyline, and overall, I have to give it, an A+. Very well done. Kudos to you, Atlas. I can't wait to see what happens with the Metaphor re Fantasio IP. However, I have to admit that it is unfortunate that the collector's box came so damaged. But let me know in the comments if you made it this far. Did you get the collector's edition? Did it come damaged in the same way? Or were you one of the lucky ones that had their box on the top of the pallets where there was not enough pressure to actually damage the interiors? And I have to reiterate, the contents were fine. It's just this inner box that got damaged. And overall, I really think it's well designed and well put together. And kudos to them. Just be warned that if you see this pop up on eBay or resale sites like Woot or Amazon, chances are the interiors may come damaged, so take a look and make sure. Hey yo, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.